thought the biggest difference between owning these two different lasers was going to be the engraving quality. And I hate to admit this, but I was wrong. Now there was something that surprised me the most, and it has nothing to do with the wattage. If you were to compare both of these machines strictly on paper, the Monport would be an obvious winner. It has 100 watts, it has a much larger working area, and it's half the price. Where does that other $6,000 go, and what does it get you? Well, that's where things get interesting. Having these two lasers side by side in my shop, I started noticing some differences in how these machines are designed. None of these features improve engraving quality, but they all affect what it's like to use the machine every day. Most reviews will focus on the laser, and I think that's a mistake, because the gantry, that is responsible for putting that beam where it's supposed to go. Both machines do a good job, but they're engineered differently. That's not something you'll notice on a spec sheet. It's something you'll notice after using the machine. Thunder actually manufactures their own rail systems because they couldn't find an off-the-shelf option that met their standards. And while both machines are aligned at the factory before shipping, there's an important difference. With the Monport, you may still need to check and fine-tune the mirror alignment after shipping. The Thunder is designed to arrive aligned and ready to use right out of the crate. Now, I haven't owned the Thunder long enough to tell you how that alignment holds up throughout the years, but I can tell you that the Monport, it already feels like the alignment is falling off, and I've owned it less than a year. It's another example of where that extra engineering costs might be going. Another difference I noticed was the Z-axis. Both machines raise and lower the workbed, but they're engineered differently. With the two machines side by side, the Thunder movement felt smoother and more refined during setup. It's a subtle difference, but after using both machines, it was something I noticed almost immediately. So far, we have looked at the engineering. And while none of these things by themselves justify $6,000, we're not done yet. We've talked a lot about everything around the laser. Now it's time to talk about the laser itself. Now I have this illustrated over here on a whiteboard, and if you haven't noticed, my daughter added to this. She really does love lasers. But I want to have you focus your attention right over here at the glass tube laser. The Monport uses a traditional glass tube laser. Think of it as a continuous beam of energy. The Thunder uses a metal RF tube. Rather than having a constant stream of energy, it fires very fast bursts. Most people compare wattage, but wattage really just tells you how much energy you have available. It doesn't tell you how precisely that energy is being delivered. That's why an 80-watt RF laser can sometimes produce a better detail than a 100-watt glass laser. All right, that was a lot of theory, but none of that matters if you can't see the difference. So let's put those two lasers to work on a project. I'm running the same exact custom needle holder on both lasers. It's something I'm making for my daughter. Both machines are using the same file and the same type of material, so we can compare the finished result as closely as possible. As you watch, see if you can spot the difference before I share what I noticed. Let me know in the comments which one you think looks better. This is the Monport using the 100-watt glass tube. At first glance, it looks great. Pay close attention to the eye, the nose, and the smallest engraving details. Here's the Thunder using the 80-watt RF metal tube. Look at those same areas. The difference is subtle, but notice the small details appear cleaner, sharper, and more defined. Both lasers produce a result I'd be happy selling. This isn't a night and day difference, but side by side, I noticed the RF laser produced cleaner edges, better definition, and sharper detail. It's one of the first places where you can actually see those engineering differences show up in the finished product. Does that automatically make it worth another $6,000? No, but it may allow you to confidently sell products where those details matter. One thing that surprised me was how much thought Thunder put into the ownership experience. And you can see that in the resources that they have available. Monport does provide an FAQ and a PDF user manual, but beyond that, I found the documentation pretty limited. Thunder has more information available, along with an active user community that helps you understand, troubleshoot, and maintain the machine. That's probably not something you're thinking about when you're buying a laser. But when you're trying to solve a problem and get back to work, it matters. And that same approach carries over to what comes with the machine. None of these accessories are exciting until you need one. They're not here to sell the machine. They're here to keep it running. It's another one of those things you probably won't think about on day one, but you'll appreciate it if you ever need it. The same idea applies here. They don't just send you a laser, they send you materials so you can start learning your laser right away. There's something I haven't talked about yet, and that's support. See, I contacted Thunder as I had an issue or question about my machine, and they responded within minutes. Actually, they responded within 5 minutes. It was like 4 minutes something because I looked at the timestamp of my email. And what was really awesome is I wrote them back, and like within 2 or 3 minutes, they wrote me back again. It was like this almost live exchange of emails where I had questions about my machine. And guys, I just want to tell you, and I can't emphasize this enough, you don't really think about support until you need it. And support is one of those things where if you don't have it when you're making products or you're setting up a machine, you're losing time, you're losing money, and you can't make anything or sell anything. And that is a big deal. Let's say your laser produces $500 worth of work every day. And if something breaks, you're down a week waiting for parts. That's $3,500 worth of product you didn't get out the door. And that's only 1 week. Suddenly, downtime just isn't inconvenient, it's expensive. Thunder stocks replacement parts here in the US, so they can get them out quickly when they're needed. Combine that with the support response I experienced, and now we're talking about something that can actually affect your return on investment. That's another piece of the puzzle. At the beginning of this video, I told you that I thought the biggest differences between these two lasers was going to be the engraving quality, and I was wrong. The engraving is just the biggest difference you can see. The biggest differences are the ones that I experienced every time I used the machine. So where does all that $6,000 go? Well, it doesn't go to one specific feature. It goes to a dozen small decisions. They all work together to create a different ownership experience. The real difference isn't the laser. It's not the wattage. It's everything surrounding the laser. It's the workflow, the engineering, the consistency, and the support. None of those things by themselves justify an additional $6,000, but together they start to tell a much bigger story. The Thunder is built with quality components, and there's a level of engineering throughout this machine that's honestly difficult to show you on camera. If you were standing here in my shop looking at these two machines side by side, you would begin to understand what I'm saying. And guys, you would be able to feel them, how they move, how they work, and also how they're supported. I wish I could just pull you through this camera and let you experience that. If you're depending on your machine to make you money, that matters. Downtime, it's expensive. And you need a quality machine to be running without having the worry and the stress of it failing or getting spare parts or talking to somebody to get it fixed. And after owning both of these machines, I now finally understand where that extra $6,000 go. Now, I would love to hear from you. What laser would you buy? Would it be the Monport or would it be the Thunder? Please post in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And also if you have any questions about either of these lasers, I'm here to help you guys out. All right, well, that's it for now. Till next time, I'll see you later.